With the theme for Education Month focusing on the advancement in education, what better advancement could there be than in the area of information and communication technology? On this episode of Government in Action, we bring an update into the projects of the eGovernment agency as they seek to bring to fruition the President's vision of an education sector which is driven by technology. An education nation, a nation in which each child has access to school and is provided with the resources which will allow them to gain quality education and achieve the highest level of education possible. This is the vision of President David Granger. The President believes that education holds the key to the country's overall development, as educating the children means educating the future.
Education is the gateway to your future. You cannot leave school, you cannot drop out without mastering the elements of education so you can understand the world around you and you can make a good life for yourselves, a good career. If you want to be anything in life, if you want to be a president, if you want to be a saxophonist, if you want to be a regional chairman, if you want to be the Minister of Social Cohesion, you have to be educated. And the least I can do is to ensure that every single child in this country gets access to that education. Why? Because I believe in equality.
But in this technological age, the education of a nation must fall in tandem with the advancements in information and communication technology, ICT, so as to promote innovation and transformation, and to ensure that Guyana is on par with international standards.
Education in the sciences, technology, engineering, and mathematics, what is now called STEM, S-T-E-M, is the key to innovation and transformation. Guyana's capacity to compete in global markets will rely on our ability to innovate. Innovation requires that greater emphasis be placed on education, particularly STEM education. The greatest innovation in the global economy is in the scientific and information technology fields.
President Granger has pledged his administration's commitment to ensuring that education goes beyond the classroom and includes all aspects of ICT. It is as a result of this commitment that the eGovernment agency has been busy with the rollout of its project to create an interconnected eGovernment network within ministries and their related agencies across the country. This project, called the Improving Digital Equity, Access and Learning Ideal Program, includes working with the Ministry of Education, which aims at connecting the networks among related institutions and providing internet access.
We intend to connect the secondary schools all around the coast into a network that is managed by the Ministry of Education. We'll also connect the technical and vocational institutes such as GTI, New Amsterdam Technical Institutes, and the other technical institutes that provide vocational training along the coast. We're also currently working with the University of Guyana to extend their network so that the two campuses can be connected. That is the campus at Turkana and the campus at Teen. The Sale Potter College of Education also plays a role in this ideal project that we have conceptualized. They have several satellite training centers that will be connected to their main campus at Turkana.
This initiative, called the Secondary Schools Internet Connectivity Project, began in August this year and spans across institutions in Regions 2, 3, 4, and 5. So far, a total of 100 institutions, including secondary schools, regional educational development offices, both university campuses, and technical and vocational institutions throughout these regions have been connected to the eGovernment 4G LTE network. The eGovernment agency has also conducted several visits to these areas to provide additional assistance and to monitor the performance of the recently installed systems. On a visit to the Mahaica Berbice and the East Berbice quarantine regions at the initial stage of the project, Chief Executive Officer of the eGovernment agency, Mr. Floyd Levi, said that such an initiative comes at an opportune time, as the Internet serves as a critical resource for students sitting the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) examinations, especially in light of the new requirement of the online submission of school-based assessments. On their most recent excursion to the Pomeroon-Supernam region, the eGovernment team visited with several stakeholders, including the Regional Executive Officer and the Regional Educational Officer, and conducted visits to several schools which have benefited from the project. Mr. Levi said that the trip allowed for further recommendations to be made as to the expansion of the project in the area.
When we came to Essequibo, we found that there were some other educational institutions that the regional administration made representation for. There was the IDC, the Institute of Distance and Continuing Education, University of Guyana. There was the Ministry of Agriculture's School of Agriculture, which is up here. There's also a library that they wanted us to connect to. And we were quite happy to provide the internet services of the government agency to those educational institutions.
The agency was also able to acquire premises within the Regional Executive Office in Anna Regina, where they will be able to set up a permanent location so as to manage operations in the region. Regional Education Officer Ms. Baram Dey Siprasad lauded the initiative, adding that it will aid in research and access to information. She noted that the government service is not only free, but is also faster than the existing internet network in the region.
As I said before, ICT is very, very important. Our young minds coming up now, they're all technologically inclined, and so they look forward. It makes research, and I would emphasize research, it makes research so much easier and cheaper, because going to the library is time consuming. All of that. With internet, you can do so many things in your own little space.
Meanwhile, the schools have also expressed much gratitude, as the initiative has been able to provide a needed upgrade to the IT labs in many of the institutions.
Our kids are being able to surf the internet better, get more information, and get deadlines up to speed with everything that's happening in the country, worldwide, and more research and so on is being done.
But secondary school students are not the only beneficiaries of this project, as digital equity means equal access for everyone, including the underprivileged and the at-risk. The New Opportunity Corps, the correctional facility for youth in Guyana, is also among the beneficiaries of the initiative.
I think over time they have developed the reputation as troublesome, but we at eGovernment, we in government don't see it that way. We believe that if they're given an equal opportunity, they could do as well as any child in a normal secondary school. So we sought to ensure that the facilities that we provided for the other secondary schools throughout Guyana was given here at the New Opportunity Court. What we found here also was there is a laboratory in existence, but it needs some work, so the government agency is committing to having that laboratory refurbished and outfitted next week, and with their own dedicated internet access in that laboratory.
The agency will also seek to fill the gap created by a shortage of teachers so as to provide training for the juveniles resident at the New Opportunity Corps. Senior Training Officer of the NOC, Mr. Parsram Singh, said that the initiative therefore aids in providing a brighter future for the young people, as it will help to foster a better learning process for them even as they remain at the facility.
It's a wonderful initiative. Actually, they sometimes feel forgotten, and that's why in my little talk there with the discussion with these children, I said it's a blessed day for us with the advent of eGovernment stepping on board with us. When I heard that the 4G network is being installed, I felt really good. I went home tonight actually, and I had a little conference in my head, and I said, we cannot expect anything better than this.
The juveniles resident at the New Opportunity Corps were open to the initiative and look forward to the opportunity to access internet services in an aim to aid in their rehabilitation into society.
Yes, I feel it's great because it will help us to gain more knowledge, and it will help us a lot. Because it is one of the basic things that help us in our schoolwork and help us to understand more about these basic things and studies. I think it's very good.
It will be nice for me and my friends, and we could go on the internet learn, spell, so I think we know fine and everything. Like we get homework and so on.
These students obviously need life skills that could serve them well in the future. And of course, information technology, computers, digital systems form very much a part of the future. So they've got to be prepared that when they leave here, they can integrate well into society and they can lead meaningful and productive lives.
The IDEAL project also includes the establishment of community ICT hubs, which includes the provision of free internet services within identified communities.
These are small IT centers in communities, particularly those communities that are either poor and remote, or those communities that are having difficulty with access to the internet, like those on the East River coast. These small hubs, meant to have less than a dozen or so computers, will provide access to members of the community to actually computers for them to use, as well as access to the internet.
Community analyst of the eGovernment agency, Mr. Marlon Pearson, said that this project involves 3 phases. The first phase surrounds meeting with key stakeholders to identify communities and meeting with those community members. The second stage requires the installation of systems in identified locations that are accessible by all community members. The third phase, he said, involves private sector collaborations for the equipping and furnishing of the hubs where needed.
Every community needs a safe space where you must be comfortable sending your children. You must be comfortable going there, sitting, and having access. The point is having the access.
Coming off of recommendations from the regional administration in Pomeroon Supernam, several communities have been identified in which to begin this project.
So far, we've gotten commitment for areas at Charity, at Dartmouth, at Lima Sands, at Good Success, Aurora, and there are a few other areas that we're investigating to determine whether they can actually accommodate us because of their remoteness. They're so far away from the coast that it may pose a challenge for us to get to those areas. But we're committed to ensuring, particularly the residents of poor, remote communities, that they have an equal chance and access to technology as the rest of us who live in Georgia.
The community of Dartmouth provides a good example of the benefit of community ICT hubs. A 20-minute drive from the town of Anna Regina, residents of Dartmouth are required to travel from their community to access proper internet facilities.
Our young people, our youths and the adults, because we have a lot of adults that going to college, the CPC, adults that working, and we're able to access. But mostly for me, I sort of taking up with children. That's my main concern. The young people were able to have access to especially their homework when they get this homework. Because for me, I have 4 kids that go to school. And like when it comes for internet, for getting the homework done, because most of these things these teachers bring now is not, as much as the teacher have the textbook at school, you, the parents at home, have to get access to internet service to get the homework done. So that would be very beneficial, especially for these school children. I know it's a criteria in Dartmouth at present because most of these parents have to be sending their child from school to Regina, or some of them that are going to the secondary school that way will do their homework that way for their ritual.
The Connectivity Initiative is also expected to facilitate the delivery of the new Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics STEM curriculum. The schools, ICT hubs and other learning institutions are all being served by 54 towers that have been erected along the coast and connected to the eGovernment agency's 11 LTE sites. Mr. Levi said that the sole aim of the agency is to make Guyana into a digital society where the needs of Guyanese can be met. Plans to extend this network to hinterland communities have begun and are expected to be executed next year. This is Jasmine Payne. Thank you for joining us.